Good evening, Micah and Cher. Still a very active scene out here outside the Reagan Library with this crash involving a couple of California Highway Patrol motor officers. They were escorting Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau shortly after his speech. You can see the motorcycles are now sitting on their sides, somewhat broken apart. I'm told the officer or officers involved are going to be okay. They did not suffer critical injuries. While they were escorting the Canadian Prime Minister, something went wrong, and apparently one car in that motorcade collided with at least one of these motorcycles, but again, the officers are going to be okay. This happened just minutes after the Prime Minister wrapped up his speech at the Reagan Library earlier this evening. Justin Trudeau explained that his family has a long history with President Reagan. In fact, Trudeau's father was the Canadian Prime Minister when Ronald Reagan was first elected president almost 40 years ago. He is widely considered, at least in pop cultural terms, the liberal hunk, mainly among his female constituents and observers around the world. He is the leader of our neighbor to the north, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Ronald Reagan came over to my house when I was a kid. It was early 1981, mere weeks after his inauguration. He radiated optimism, confidence, and charm.
Qualities the young Trudeau never forgot. The now 46-year-old leader spoke at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley during a visit to Southern California. The Liberal Prime Minister wanted to dispel some misconceptions about his relationship with the current U.S. president.
But of course, the truth is that President Trump and I agree about this. Too many people have been left behind, even as our economies surged.
The Canadian leader focused heavily on the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, which is a pact among Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. It's been a sticking point, with President Trump once calling it the worst trade deal in history and blaming it for the loss of manufacturing jobs in a large part of the U.S. Trudeau strongly supports NAFTA, but agrees it must be modernized and updated.
Every year, we buy more American goods than China, Japan, and the UK combined. We buy more California fruits, nuts, vegetables, and wines than any other export market. And back here live at the scene of a crash involving California Highway Patrol motor officers who were escorting Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau shortly after he wrapped up that speech. The Prime Minister says Canadians and Americans need to continue to create, innovate, and build together. He's going to be in Los Angeles tomorrow. Live in Simi Valley, Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
Chris, thank you.